There's a lot of good things said about Ryan Baer last season about his potential. How's he looking so far? He's a guard, right?
He looks good. I mean, you see him walk. He'll walk by you. He looks good. He's playing left tackle right now, but he can play. He can play right tackle, left tackle, guard. On either side, he can do anything. But no, he's looked well. I mean, after 4 days, we like where he is. I mean, he played for us a little bit last year, so we like where Ryan is.
Where are you putting Jacoby?
Jacoby's a guard as well, and some tight end, of course.
Jerry's earlier question: why is it you've been able to retain coaches? What allows you to?
I don't know. You get lucky. I think a year ago, after a championship season, Heather and the athletic department stepped up. The chancellor, Gallagher, stepped up, and I think we got them paid better than they were. I think that helps a ton. I think when you're taking care of your staff and you're doing something to keep them, I think that helps.
Ryan Gandy was a guy that you told us last summer camp that really impressed you guys as he was working. What have you seen him in the sophomore start?
Ryland's started fast. I mean, he's a football player for sure. You watch him on special teams. We even watched tape from last year when he did run down. I think he ran down in UCLA game as a gunner on the punt team. He's got a high motor. He plays hard. He's smart. That guy's going to be a really, really good football player here at Pitt.
Pat, what have you seen from Rodney as he steps into this year as kind of the top back, more or less?
Yeah, Rodney, we know he's a good back a year ago. He's had a good camp so far, or spring camp so far. I mean, he's been good. I mean, he hadn't made any huge, gigantic splash plays yet, but we haven't had a scrimmage yet. So, but he's, from what Coach Powell says, just with his individual stuff, he's done all the. He's much better detail player right now. Just a year better. I mean, I think every year, you get amazed at how much, improvement guys are going to make, even when you're not even coaching them. You're not even, on the field through the off season. And I had Coach Stack come talk to you on Monday just about what the training, how fast they get, how strong they get, how much more confident they get coming into this new spring. But all our young guys, just they keep growing. They're a year better. I mean, I look at Miles Austin. He's a much better player than he was a year ago. So some of these guys, they grow up really quick, and some grow up. It takes a little bit longer. So we expect a lot out of these guys, and sometimes you're going to get it fast. Sometimes it's going to take a little longer.
I know last year there was a lot of talk about the strike numbers being up within really across the board in this program. How would you assess how these players entered the spring drills, knowing that that standard needed to be kept up a little bit?
Yeah, I don't have all the numbers on that. We haven't done, we didn't do all that stuff. That'll be at the end of, end of the summer program, going into fall camp, that will really put the numbers together. So we didn't do anything numbers-wise. I know they got a squat and a bench in, and I know they had some good days down there, but that's just the beginning. So we're not, just a small window. We'd rather take instead of these small little gains that we look at, we'd rather have a big number to work with and look at from where they came from January to August.
Who are the guys taking the most charge you've seen as far as like setting the example and being the louder voices to keep people going?
There's the guys that are going to talk a lot. There's going to be the guys that are doing it by example, and they shut their mouth and they just work hard. But there's a lot of them. I'll tell you the guys I hear. Sometimes you don't see what's going on in the locker room, but I hear David Green a lot. I hear Marquez a lot. I hear Bub Means a lot leading. Matt Gonsalves leading. Phil Jakovic, I hear him a lot. Like, he's not afraid to lead. He's not shy. And again, I see a lot of guys doing it by example.
Other than your two returning starters, what wide receivers have caught your eye?
Besides Bub and Kanate, has had a really, so is Bub. They've been really, they are better football players right now than they were at the end of the year. They've taken a step. Other guys, Jake McConaughey's had a nice camp walk-on. That's made, matter of fact, he probably had about as good a day as you can have as a receiver today. We'll look and see who he was going against. But he made some plays. He actually made a nice touchdown catch down in this corner here, from Christian. But he had a nice day. He's well. I mentioned Miles already. Day Reynolds has had a nice camp. He had a nice touchdown in this corner over here. So red zone period down here at the end. I'm trying to think who else. Javante Royal's working at it. Trying to think. The young kids. Polk and Seymour are doing a nice job for two young kids coming in. 17 years old, whatever they are. They've been good. So they all have made some improvement. We'll find out when the pads come on.
Those touchdowns, are they from Phil, Christian, or someone else?
A little bit of both. Christian, I know, was the last. No, it was Nate Yarnell was the last one here. I think Reynolds was a Christian, I believe.
The scrimmage on Saturday.
We will scrimmage at that stadium Saturday.
In Acton?
Yeah.
Anything final?